go ahead. Hi Martin.
Hello.
Max from Moto Gymkhana, and we're gonna share a few things about you and ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So how was your yesterday day and even?
My race, you mean?
Your race?
Oh yeah. Actually, I had quite low expectations because I just changed bikes from a Honda CBR 600 RR to a Beta 300 RR.
Oh, okay.
And that's from a 4-cylinder 4-stroke to a 1-cylinder 2-stroke, and the difference couldn't be bigger. So I've been training a little bit in winter and last season, but my expectations were top 10, and I became 4th. So I was super happy about that.
Cool.
And I get the feeling I made a big step this weekend, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, and we are happy to be here actually. As many people know, Martjin is organizing this fantastic event in Barcelona, and it goes like since 2016.
Yep,
I know. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like 4th time already, and the location, the facility. Thanks again to Honda providing this playground. It's awesome. And
the weather is that's actually why we are here.
Yeah,
we're here for the time.
Because now it is beginning of March, and the weather here is fantastic, like
it's
plus 20 degrees.
20 degrees and blue skies. We have to stay in the shadow to not overheat.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome. So
yeah,
thank you very much for doing this.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for you uniting the riders from all over the
world.
And world,
all over
because
the world of here.
Last year there were many guests from other countries.
Yes, we had Japan, which was really attracting more riders from all over Europe because everybody wanted to meet the fastest riders from Japan.
Yeah.
We had Haruhiko Tsuji and his wife Hanako and Hunter Tabibito riding here. They visited us, and we were actually very honored that they came over.
Yeah.
And of course James Bush, we all know from the world competitions. He visited us already 2 times. So last year and the year before, and this year he couldn't find time because he was busy with his family. We all know that. He has
he's filling his family in the
he has a lot of nice kids. But yeah, and then of course from the Middle East we have Francois and Firas that have been here this year all for the 2nd time, and then all over Europe. This year we have Daniel from Martinique, who's also far away, and we have Sean Kashia from Malta, and then we have of course Poland, the family Malars, doing great. They're even making own events after this event. And then we have a big group from France and Czech Republic, of course, many fast riders, and a big group from the Netherlands.
That's kind of a main.
Try to bring more Dutch people here. But probably I forgot some countries, but sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Like it's an international environment. And I'm glad that beside of the competition itself, it's just a great training playground where you can meet the riders, you can chat with them, you can ask the questions, and you can see how they're riding and compete with them, follow them. That's an amazing opportunity. It's like a 3 days intensive riding and training. And yesterday we were like exhausted, but with happy smiles on the faces because it's just amazing.
That's what I really. That gives me joy to see all those tired but happy faces, enjoying the weather and the track, talking to each other, connecting the community even more, and from there trying to build the Moto Gymkhana community. That's the higher goal.
By the way, how long you are in Gymkhana?
I think I started in 2014. Yeah, I was actually, I live quite near to the Assen racetrack. And me and my wife, we did a lot of traveling on sidecars, and I wanted to do some motorcycling competition, but I was it's a small crash. But on a racetrack, I just found it a little bit too dangerous. I heard a lot of stories about crashes, people getting really hurt, and then I found out about Moto Gymkhana, and we already loved going to like Luxembourg or the Alps, and really the tight turns I always loved.
Yeah,
twisty roads. And then I thought, well, this is just making a twisty road at home, and in the Netherlands it's all flat and straight roads mainly. And so I thought, let's go have a look. So me and my wife Marie, we with our BMWs, because we are actually BMW riders.
Okay.
And we went to one of the days. So I found out there was an actual association in the Netherlands, very small at that time. And we went to have a look, and we were sold immediately. I actually, the week after, I bought an old CBR 600 F2. And week after, I was like, so I tried with a BMW, just a warm-up course, and I thought, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I bought the old CBR and made some small adaptations, and immediately joined the competition as well. And I'm really happy I did that, because of course I wasn't that good. There was some parts that were too tight and I couldn't manage, but I just stopped and stepped back and then continued. And the second heat I was able to manage, and I was, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the results. Okay. I was super happy, and then after that we bought the second bike for Marie, and we started training, first only in the association's training days, and then afterwards we thought, oh, we have to train more, because we want to become faster. And then we started looking for areas near our where we live, and then we started training once every 2 weeks, and then after that we started training every week. And then all of a sudden we had goals. We want to be in this position in the European Championship, so we started training twice a week. And that's what, just a little bit where we are now. So changing bikes every now and then, trying to improve the bikes.
Like progressing, you're progressing, and then you see that the bikes is limiting. Maybe you can upgrade something, but some bikes just not too much fittable when you grow up your skills at a certain level.
If you start riding, you can just start riding with any bike. That's also the beauty of the sport. I think everybody.
It's so accessible.
Very, very accessible for everybody. But once you start training and you become faster and faster, then the bike is starting to limit you. So you make some changes on, I don't know, sprockets or handlebars or crash protection. And then you say, okay, you progress further, and then all of a sudden you need to change suspension, because then that becomes too soft for you, and then gradually you build up the bike. That's actually very nice, so you don't have to invest that much in the beginning.
Like in a MotoGP or similar racetracks driving, you need to have already something at least like 300cc or 600cc to get it more prepared to the track.
You can start on your normal road bike and still have fun. I mean, even here there are people riding around on their normal road bikes, and some of them can be really fast. I think a good example is Guillaume from France. He's a motorcycle instructor. And for many years he has been competing and training with us just on a pretty standard instructing bike. As a Kawasaki ER6, nothing special about it, but he just rode the tires off it, and he could be really fast with it. So it's a good example.
For this weekend we rented bikes from Jon. That's XJ6. And I've discovered it's a fun bike. I mean, and it's competitive. Like it can perform well, and it's so easy to drive. And that's the accessibility of this sport, and I cannot call it in a certain way a sport. You always think like, should I call Gymkhana a sport, because it's so much about personal development of the motor riding skills that can bring you to the sport level. You can take yourself in the competition, but you can stay on the training playground. That's
what we see in the Netherlands, and we see it also in other countries. I think Russia is also a good example for that. They really have recreational riders that are just there to improve their skills for riding on the road, and you have the guys that are really very competitive and they want to be the fastest, and they start buying bikes and changing it and training and more often. And I think that's good, because it builds a community, it builds also the skill level of everybody, and the recreational riders, they can learn from the pros in the best way, and it also grows the community, which makes it even better.
What have you learned in Japan? I've heard you've been there recently, this autumn, I think.
We were able to spend our holidays in Japan, and we combined it, of course, with a lot of Gymkhana visits, and then Haruiku, Tsuji, and Hanako and Hunter, they helped us so much. That was really amazing. Actually, when we arrived by plane, we met them, and they said, "Oh, tomorrow we have a training." So there was no time for any jet lag. We immediately went out. It was beautiful weather, and we trained. They arranged motorcycles for us, and we could start training on the place where the weekend after there was a race. So we joined the race as well. And it was amazing to see. Also, I mean, we all look at the videos from Japan, and but when you're there, you actually see that it's even faster than you can see on the videos. I mean, we are very experienced with looking at fast riders, and but the level in Japan is still somewhat higher than in Europe. I mean, we are getting there. You see the level of the fastest riders growing and growing. Always compared, because in the world competitions we can come very close to Japanese level, but we need a lot more tries for that. And during a race you only have 2 tries, and a big group of Japanese riders, they can just put out that kind of level in a race, and that we would have to need more tries for that, and that's the big difference. So we know how to go fast. We only don't know yet how to do it the first time.
How to go fast.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think is the secret of their
training?
Okay,
it's all training.
Simple training.
We've been during our holidays there. We've been training with them. They have, of course, the sports in Japan is much older. I think they started there in the 60s. So they have a lot of experience. So the whole sport and the rules, they grew to something that is very stable. But if you look at the fastest riders, and we trained with them, very disciplined. They start at 8 o'clock in the morning. We had to get, we had to get used to that. So we asked, what time do we have to be at the track? Oh, you come at 8 o'clock, and then everything.
You don't need to be rushed at 8.
Yeah. Indeed. So everything was set up already, and they were cleaning the track and walking the course. They what they call a training is setting up a track and timing. So during the training, you're being pushed to set a faster time, and what we are doing here at the moment, we're just riding in circles, and of course we do tail chase, which helps a lot, so you follow a faster rider, and we're pushing, of course, but we do not have timing at the moment, and so they're much more disciplined in that.
So they use timing as a critical measurement of their skills.
Yes.
Like, what kind of schemas they use for training? Because all the schemes that we find in layouts, we find in the internet, they are all Japanese, like Siso, Sato, and all those.
Those are just the small practices. Well, during their trainings, they just set up a race course.
Okay.
So they have mostly the training areas. Sometimes it's at the track, but most of the times it's what I saw is on areas where which they use for instruction cars or motorcycles. So it's actually roads, so small roads. You've seen the movies, I think, from Japan, and they are able to put with cones to make a racetrack there, and it's like in a race. In the morning they walk the course, and then they divide it in sessions, in groups, and then you can ride the course as often as you like within the time frame. So you can set a lot of times if you want, and then you can see your own improvement. So you can try out different things, tire pressures, or different tires, or setting of suspension, or maybe different lines, and every time you change something, you can see if it's an improvement or not. And so they're very accurate about it.
Pragmatic, pedantic. That's good. What have you learned there that you would bring to that kind of events, or the events to the Netherlands?
If you see, if people ask what do I have to do to improve, and it's what I learned from Japan, that's what I just mentioned. It's the training. You just have to train more often, more efficient, do timing. What they also say is you need to have like this booklet and write down all the changes you make to your bike.
Oh yeah.
So did I change a few clicks on the suspension? Did I change sprockets? What kind of parts did I put in?
What's the temperature? What the other
That kind of stuff.
What surrounding you are using the bike? Yeah, but that's kind of a top professional sport.
Yeah, that's the top professional sports. Luckily, what we saw in Japan, you also have the recreational riders. I mean, it's not all pros and super fast guys. There's also just guys enjoying the sport. And there was a couple during the race. There was the big national Japanese race we could enter. So there were almost, I think, 200 riders. It's amazing to see so many.
That's a lot.
And there was like this Kawasaki W650, like the retro bikes, with crash bars on it, and they also competed. They were actually pretty fast, but you know, of course, that on these retro bikes you're not going to be the fastest.
But anyway,
but anyway, they competed, and they well, obviously they had fun. So.
Yeah, cool. Like I think about the GP8, which is a very common small layout for measuring your skills. But the most important question, I think, for the GP8 is how to count by 5 on the GP8.
Yeah, that can be difficult. What I do is I count to 4. So if I start, I only count 1 when I'm back at the first cone.
Okay.
And then I only have to count till 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and then I finish.
Yeah. Okay.
That actually helps.
That helps because it's very important to settle this first corner, which sets you the whole layout for the next turns. And
the difficulty of setting a fast GP8 time is that you have 10 corners.
Yeah.
And all of them have to be perfect.
Perfect.
So, and that's really difficult. If you put statistics behind it, you do 10 times, try to do the same thing. That can be tricky. So you might be able to know how to do the corner as fast as possible, but you have to repeat it 10 times, because otherwise you lose 1 or 2 tenths.
And that impacts the next one.
That too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And also what I would recommend is, it's nice if you like it to compare GP8 times, but it can also become a little bit boring. So don't focus on it too much.
It cannot be a real judgment of the skill level, because I think, like it was yesterday with us, I made from the riders, I made like 11th GP8 time.
Yep.
But I improved my time yesterday. It didn't help me to get on the racetrack and show the time better than this. I was 17, so like 6 positions lower, because the people know how to ride the race and the track. And this is
very different. You have GP8 skills, which is kind of, I mean, it does help in acquiring and practicing a lot of skills you need for Gymkhana. But of course it's very tight, so it's only the tight cornering. But it helps you trail braking, so the braking, the cornering, and going on the throttle very fast. So that's where it helps you. But it's only for this shape of corner. And once if you are very good at GP8 and then you get a racetrack, the corners are much wider, and if you didn't practice that, you're not going to be very good at it. So
it's a combination of the small, short, closes. It's all the variety. That's what I like in Gymkhana.
And that's also if you only train, for instance, on world courses or Gymkhana GP, which are already more variety than a GP8. But also it's mostly the tighter stuff. So if you only train on that, and then you go to a race where the corners are wider, you're going to lose on the wider corners. So you always, also in training, you need the whole variety of corner rating to train.
That's a good, very valuable advice. What are your plans for the 2019, or what is your goals for 2019 in Gymkhana or organizational wise?
My goal is, because I just changed from the CBR to the beta, is to get back to the level where I was with the CBR, and then go even a little bit faster. So obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have changed. If I manage to do that, then I'm already happy. So my goals are set a little bit lower than last year because of the motorcycle change. Having fun is actually the main goal.
Okay.
That is sometimes I have to remind myself that okay, why did I start this again? Because when you get too enthusiastic, you see you can train like 2, 3, 4 times a week, and that would really, I know if I would do that, I would become faster, much faster.
Yeah.
But I also know that then you would it would just cost too much of your other personal time.
Yeah.
So it's always finding a balance in how often do I train and still maintaining the fun in it. At the moment, it's I'm enjoying it so much, and so for now that works out great.
Yeah, good. That's a great goal. I mean, development and self-development. I think it's quite a big area to develop yourself, and in Moto Gymkhana, that's very good.
Yeah.
We have a small present for you from Ukraine, not the one that was yesterday in the evening.
Oh,
yeah, but just a small one. We have this t-shirt from Ukrainian team.
Oh wow!
So,
yeah, little fit. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Martjin, and
you're welcome.
It was nice to meet you here and talk to you, and thank you for sharing.
It was great that you guys came over from the Ukraine. I really like that because I think it's the first time Ukrainian riders came over.
Yeah.
And of course we always connect on social media, but meeting in person is always better.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martjin. Have a good time. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.